Hello, my name is Tristan Mays, and this is my project for EDU 604, Diversity Issues in the 21st Century School System, on the book Reading Lolita in Tehran by Azar Nafisi. The overview of the book is as follows. Reading Lolita in Tehran is a memoir written by Professor Azar Nafisi. Throughout the course of the memoir, we are given a view into the tumult that was the Iranian Revolution, told through the lenses of four historic authors. In this book, we can see that despite the differences in culture between Nabokov, Fitzgerald, James, Austen, and Nafisi herself, we can see that art transcends time and speaks to the human experience. The connection to course objectives are as follows. One of our course objectives for this semester was to develop a rationale for multicultural education. Nafisi's book gives an excellent rationale for multicultural education by showing that despite massive differences in culture, anyone can learn from and relate to depictions of the human experience. Learning about someone else's culture may even help you relate to your own more. It should also be mentioned that multicultural education may be difficult, but it was still able to find a place during a national revolution. I believe that this is summed up best with a quote from the book. Do not under any circumstances belittle a work of fiction by trying to turn it into a carbon copy of real life. What we search for in fiction is not so much reality, but the epiphany of truth. Throughout the course of this book, we understand the epiphany of truth in each of the novels Nafisi shows to her students. The first question that I was asked to answer for this presentation was, considering the society from which the author comes, how did she use principles of cultural competence and cultural responsive teaching in her practice? One quote from another resource we used earlier this year says, ultimately, the goal of multicultural education is to contribute to the transformation of society. Nafisi absolutely works towards transforming society in this book using literature. And she does that in a few ways. First, through student-centered pedagogy. Nafisi implements student-centered pedagogy by connecting the course materials to the experiences of students, and the emphasis is placed upon critical thinking. The students are also given a multicultural curriculum. Nafisi implements a multicultural curriculum by analyzing literature from all angles and includes a lot of feedback from students that impacts the curriculum. This can be seen in section 2 of the book when studying the trial of the Great Gatsby. Nafisi also creates a supportive classroom environment by understanding the differences of all of her students and creates a welcoming yet challenging environment for all of them. Question 2. What might you have done differently in the same situation? I think it would be very difficult for me to do anything close to what Nafisi accomplished in her situation. But based on what I have learned in this class over the past few weeks, I would do the following things. First, I would institute peer tutoring, which is the pairing of two students who have varying ability who can help each other. By doing this, one student will help to possibly teach another one and therefore get a greater understanding of the concept, and the student learning, who maybe have had a harder time, will do even better and improve their understanding of the material as well. Secondly, I would implement cooperative learning. Cooperative learning consists of groups that are put together of students with varying backgrounds. In the United States, we might consider this to be students of various cultural backgrounds or different geographic backgrounds, but because of the makeup of the geography and culture in Iran at this time, it would probably be students who maybe came from more or less conservative families that supported or didn't support the revolution. And by having them work together in groups, they could all come together and understand the perspective more. Now, the societal impact of this story I think summed up well in a quote discussed earlier this year. Our work is to strengthen the wheel by strengthening each spoke. We are all part of the wheel. By studying the works of other cultures in our schools, we better know how to help ourselves and better know how to help other people. A summary of learning after reading this book is as follows. After reading my assigned book, I have learned about the power of literature. I can see that truth is no matter what time and place truth is truth no matter what time and place you are in. Throughout this book, we learned about the impact Western literature had on Middle Eastern students during a political upheaval. I think most of us are aware that the United States is not at any deep peacetime right now. I'd be very curious to know the impact for us studying more works by people from other cultures. I believe it would give us more perspective. Here are my sources for this presentation. Thank you so much.